Welcome back to my channel, Finally Freedom Lifestyle. Today, let's talk about mindsets and how you can't just think that I am going to save money and save money, how you actually have to practice it, and how changing your behavior in multiple aspects of your life is what's really going to help motivate you the most. Now, I know, nobody really wants to hear how exercising changed something for them. I definitely didn't. I didn't want to. I just really thought if I thought hard enough, if I used my power of brain, I was going to lose weight, lose my debt, just become happy somehow. And it doesn't freaking work like that. It doesn't work like that. How it does work though is when you have a ball rolling and you just keep adding to the momentum, man, you start to get some speed and things start to happen. For me, it took a long time to get where I was. What was that? In debt. Kind of depressed about it. And if not depressed, at least I could say that I was pushing it away from myself. I was ignoring the problem and letting it get out of control. I don't know the right way to describe what I was feeling. I know there was anxiety for it. I know that I knew I had to change, but God, it was so hard. And I gave myself every excuse in the book not to. Every excuse in the book over the stupidest things. I'm not gonna shut off the cable because why would I do that? I don't do anything else. We can't afford to do anything. It's like the one last thing. It's the last thing that we even get to do is watch TV. Whatever. I'm not gonna stop eating out. Like, I'm so exhausted that I can't even do this anymore. I have to go. We're just gonna go eat somewhere cheap. Like, that even exists. There's not even a cheap place to eat. Okay, maybe there's one somewhere, but do you really want to eat there? No. What I'm trying to say is this: to get a healthier financial mindset, maybe you need to practice healthier practices throughout. There's so many things you can do. These are the things that I did, and everybody is different. Everyone's financial situation is different. I'm not saying to do exactly what I did. I'm just saying this is what I did. It might help you. It did help me. It might help you. I had to become accountable for what I was doing and stop what I was doing. That's the debt part of it. I had to cut things out that I really wanted to keep, even though I don't know why I wanted to keep it so bad now. I think it was just part of me not admitting that there was a problem as big as it was. And two, I tend to make things harder than they have to be. Sometimes a lot harder than they have to be. So recognizing where I went wrong and stopping it. Stopping eating out, stopping paying for extra stuff like cable, things where I could start really amounting a little bit of money to throw it down on something. And then what do? Like, we don't have nothing to do now. I'm not going to just sit on my phone watching YouTube. Well, that's not true. I did do a lot of that, but I was watching interesting stuff like this. I was watching other people's success stories, how they got out of it. And man, it's inspiring. It helps you. It helps you come up with ideas that maybe you didn't have, or it's all stuff you've already heard, but you need to hear it again so you actually practice it to know that other people did this exact same thing and they figured it out. It's not an easy road to travel. I know that for a fact, but once you start walking, you're walking. It's not as hard as you think it is. So shutting off the cable, well, we're kind of bored. What are we going to do now? Well, it looks like we're going to go for walks and do some exercise. A little less bored. My kids are happy to go out on their bikes while I'm walking. And I'm getting healthier. Like, that's not a bad thing, is it? No. And it took about 2 weeks for me to stop missing the shows that I was watching. And guess what? After that, I realized that you can probably almost always see them for free online anyway. I think like you can go to abc.com or whatever it is and watch them with, all those commercials, or you stop missing them and you just stop watching them. Or you go to YouTube and you watch someone else's video on what happened on that show. And it's amazing that hour show is really just 15 minutes worth of commentary when you break it all down. Because every single commercial that comes up, there's a build up to what's going to happen after the commercial. Then commercial's over and there's this little, 5-minute blip of what just happened before commercial. And it's ridiculous. Like you can waste so much time with that. And instead of doing that, you can watch things online that actually get you somewhere. Like instead of watching, I don't know, we used to watch a lot of Gold Rush. It's super fascinating and interesting, but I'm not a gold miner. I'm not going to go out there and do that kind of stuff. Instead, let me watch some videos on how other people got out of the hole that they were in. Maybe I can help myself. That's exactly what happened. So my point is this. If you haven't thought about it, think about exercising. Even if you're not going to shut off the cable, sometimes some families vote on it. They're like, the hell you are. And guess what? Maybe that's a fight for a later date. Maybe later on, everybody be more susceptible to saying, okay, yeah, we can't do with that extra $150 a month, whatever it is, But even if you do nothing else, get out there and do something. It started for me with my sister. We would go on walks. We would take the kids to the park and we would do the lap around the track. And then it evolved into me and my husband doing it in the morning. He started getting super fit and it just seemed like a better time for me to be able to get it done in the morning, because sometimes if I waited too long in the day, well, I had those excuses to go to. I'm just too tired. I gotta cook. Whatever the lame thing that was going to come out of my mouth was. I can't really give myself an excuse in the morning. I just woke up. Can't really say I'm tired. I just woke up. My kids are in school. I have the time to do it. It's just time to get out there and get some exercise in. I'm not going to pretend like it changed my life and man, I have all the energy in the world. That's not my reality. But my body is changing for the better. I feel healthier. Even if it's not like I feel like, I just feel like, God, I'm so strong. Gosh, I can't wait to go to the beach. Nothing like that. But I do know that I am stronger than I was 2 months ago. And 2 months, ago, I was stronger than I was 2 months before that. You do see a progression. There is a difference. Something else happens when you exercise. You kind of fall away from wanting to lose any of the gains that you have made through exercise. It's not easy, right? It's not. So you don't run as quickly to those shitty foods that got you into, the mom bod. You kind of turn away from chips a little bit more. Like I will go and I'll eat something healthier. And so many people think there's this persistent thought out there that it is more expensive to eat healthy. I can see how you would think that, and in some ways it kind of is, but in the end, once you start to really make improvements to the way that you're eating healthier recipes, not buying things that are so processed. Like when I first started eating at home, the easiest thing for me to do was to buy a lasagna that was already made that I'm going to throw in the oven. I was saving money. We weren't going out, but it wasn't the cheapest way to do it, and it wasn't the healthiest way to do it. Over time, as I started to realize there are a lot of things I can do for myself that I can save time, I can save money. I'm not going to pretend like I'm saving time making my own lasagna, although a little bit I do because I make 2, freeze 1, use that later. However, for the most part, if I make my own, I am saving some money. And on top of that, it's much healthier. And once you start eating healthier, that's where you notice the biggest thing. I don't notice it as much from exercise. Exercise for me is a way to set a routine in my life so that I am burning some energy. And later on at night, when I do feel some kind of anxiety about something, like it's easier for me to fall asleep. I've always had a hard time falling asleep, and it does make it a little bit easier for me to fall asleep later on at night. And it also helps with boredom. I've heard other people say this before, and I never thought it was true. I was just like, whatever, BS. But you know what? It is true. Sometimes you can kill boredom with exercise. Like even if I go in the morning, later on in the day, I'm a little more tired. Do I really want to go walk around the store, go walk around the mall and find ways to spend money? No. No, not at all. Like, I'm content with figuring out stuff to do at home. All right, thank you for watching. As always, please like, subscribe, share, and leave some comments in the bottom. Tell me what you guys are thinking about what we're talking about. Let's start talking to each other. We can really, really generate a lot of support for one another and share some ideas. I'm always down for new ideas, so please let me know what you guys are thinking. Thanks again for stopping by.